On my way to work this morning, I saw the very first roadkill porcupine of 2015. So now that I'm on my way back, I figured I'd stop and I'd take a look at them and see if they have anything that I can use. So let's go out and take a look at them and see how this animal was hit. This is a side road, and it's just a little dirt path. There's not really a lot to say about it. This is a young porcupine. As you can see, the birds have been ripping open the intestinal contents. I'm just going to grab a glove and flip this little one over and see what I can do with her. So this little porky would have been last year's young. She's very frozen. I don't know what kind of mess I'm going to make here when I lift her up. So this was probably last night's kill. That kind of saved some work for me there when pull her up and she's cleaned. So I'm going to assume right now that this is a young female. It does look like a young female, yeah. It's a little girl. I'd say that the one that was coming around here was going pretty fast to disembowel her like that, with a skull that is relatively unharmed. I'm not feeling any fractures here. So cause of death was definitely, well, obviously a vehicle hit her. But the cause of death was that the vehicle was going so fast, it just ripped her right open. Now, the evidence here, where she was in the snowbank, they may have stopped and put her there, but I have seen porcupines that were very much alive after being hit, that were disemboweled, and they drug themselves. I have seen that before, so I don't think that this was the case here because the rip goes right up the chest. So a disembowelment like this would have been instant death. So I think I'm going to take this little one home. She has some really nice quills there. There's some really nice thick white ones. So we'll take her home and see what we can do with her. We are now on the body farm, and I've laid the little porcupine girl to rest. I did collect some quills and some hair from her. I did not expect it to be this hard to collect quills from a porcupine in winter coat, which surprisingly it is. It's really hard because the soft underhairs are just so thick. It's hard to actually get a good grip because when you collect porcupine quills, you want to act as though you're petting the porcupine. You go down, grasp, and then pull upwards. And I just could not do this. It was hard because when collecting porcupine quills, the best way to do it is to act as though you're petting them and stroke down, grasp, and then pull up. But when I do that, I get mostly hair because this is the time of year when it's starting to get warm and they're shedding. So there's a lot of loose hair there. And it's hard to, this is where I was taking them, so you can see there's a lot out, but over here you can see how dense this is. That's what this spot here looked like this when I started to pull the hair. There's a lot of hair there, but you can see there's also a lot of little quills, and they're hidden, and they do hurt when you get them in your fingers. So leather gloves right now. I did take the quills out with examination gloves just because it was in the house, so it was a little better for doing that. Anyway, this is our little girl. You can see just how small she was. That's my hand, and I guess I have an average sized hand. There she is there. So, like, my thumb is a size 8, 8.5 ring size, so you can see how small this little porcupine was. She was about the size of one of my cats, so that's a little heartbreaking in itself that she was such a small porcupine and so young. And as I said earlier, the vehicle that hit her must have been going extremely fast. around that road to cause the damage that they did. It's a road that is about 1.5 kilometers long, and there's a lot of blind turns, so it's not safe to be driving like that on that road anyway. So it's not safe for animals and it's not safe for people. And there's a human up there. So you're coming over here to ask me if I put the bag of Twizzlers on the table for you to open.
No.
So
I came over to ask you, was it okay to open the bag of Twizzlers?
if it was okay to open the bag of Twizzlers, and here you are already eating them, and you're coming over to ask if it was okay.
Yeah.
What if I was going to put those in my stash for later?
It's too late.
And it's too late now, isn't it? The licorice thief. How many you got in your pocket?
Just a couple. You want one?
Just not out of your pocket. Not after they've been in your shirt.
You see the brutality of my life?
Yeah, it's horrible.
What I have to come up with. Hey everybody, enjoying the nice spring weather?
Well, I wouldn't say it's spring weather, but
We haven't had a thaw all winter.
No, I know.
Winter showed up on the 29th of December. And here it is, what is this, the 11th of March, 12th of March?
The 13th. It's Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, 13th of March. And look. Just look. And that's the good part. The bad part is the ice.
Yeah.
I've never seen so much ice in all my life. Twizzlers are good though.